Hello, this video is brought to you by my supporters on Patreon and my members on YouTube. Minasan, arigato gozaimasu. My name is Kurt, and today is the 16th day of December 2023. This is my Good Life meditation, a video exercise that I perform each and every morning a little bit after waking up. It's now 5:08 a.m. I'm running way behind, actually. I was responding to comments, so it took a while. I do this to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are in my book, Going Alone. You can find a link to the book down in the description if you want. I also use the time to reflect on the last 24 hours to see how I did with the challenges and opportunities that I met. I prepare for the coming day, come up with a little plan for how I'm going to live today, and then I ready myself to die. sounds so. But I always like to start with a poem, so I'm going to turn back to Keats now. And we're going to read a short poem here called See the Ship in the Bay is Riding. And as always, or nearly always with Keats, the first line is the same as the title. Here we go. See, the ship in the bay is riding, dearest Ellen. I go from thee, boldly go, in thy love confiding, over the deep and trackless sea. When thy dear form is no longer, is near me, this soothing thought shall at midnight cheer me. My love is breathing a prayer for me. Nice sentiment. When the thunder of war is roaring, when the bullets around me fly, when the rage of the tempest pouring blends the billowy sea and sky, yet shall my heart to fear a stranger cherish its fondest hopes for thee. This dear reflection disarming danger, my love is breathing a prayer for me. That's a nice, simple, sentimental poem. A man going off to war, sailing away, remembering that through the storm and the battles to come, my dearest is, what does it say? My dearest is praying for me? My love is breathing a prayer for me. All right, so what about last night and yesterday? I slept pretty good. I got to bed early, slept well. I was really exhausted. Yesterday was a good day. I got a lot done. It was a Friday, had the day off. Worked hard on I updated Stoic Poetry Volume 2. I brought up to speed my journal, so to speak, in Stoic Poetry Volume 3. I did a good deal of work on the Lyle's Brother channel videos. Had a really interesting meeting with a gentleman who's an AI developer who wants to do a collaboration of sorts. Very interesting collaboration. I won't give too many details away because it's a proprietary project. But very interesting. I fancy that. I went to the beach. I was going to fill my prescriptions and I forgot. Well, I have for a good reason. I went to the beach for a swim and got stung by a stingray, and that's why I didn't go to the pharmacy. I'll go today. I got through the week. And then I had a nice evening with my wife. Had an interesting conversation with Yumiko last night about free will. Yumiko's really a smart person. She didn't necessarily disagree. We weren't arguing. We were just having an interesting discussion as we walked the dogs. But like many people, the prospect that free will is an illusion doesn't sit well with her. She doesn't like it. It's interesting how you gotta watch who you talk to about this. It's like talking about God. You gotta watch who you talk to. Not because it's a problem necessarily. It's just that it's like unsettling, right? It's something that trespasses too closely to people's the structure of their worldview, maybe. And me too. I'm not immune to that from that at all, except that my perspective tends to come from the perspective of the destroyer of worlds. There is no God. There is no soul. There is no free will. Life is meaningless and purposeless. I mean, Anybody that assaults those ramparts is, I mean, I'm like the Dark Lord. What I mean by assault those ramparts, I mean, if they win me over, all they've done, if anybody can win me away from those positions, they've won me to a position of greater hope and charity and kindness. No, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say hope and charity. Greater hope and hope and optimism, maybe. Such a strange thing for me, such an optimistic guy, yet to hold on to such a bleak worldview. I guess it shows that those things can coexist nicely. And that's been my worldview since I was 16 years old. Maybe even before that. Anyway, it was a good day yesterday. Let's do the good. Oh, but I got stung by the stingray, and that really hurt. But I did have a stoic exercise as this pain was throbbing through my foot. Instead of screaming out loud, I mean, the pain is that bad, you want to scream. I simply remembered the words of Seneca, the elder, or maybe it was the younger, the snoring dog, reminding me that when things like this occur, that one of two outcomes is the result. One, it will pass, or two, it will kill you. I guess there is the third outcome. You could just suffer for an incredibly long time. What do you think of that, Seneca? The good life. 8 objectives are: to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize true limits and true opportunities, to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, and to keep my balance. The principles now are: war, reason, homunculus, anchorhold, home of good and evil, purpose, atomic principle, principle of nature, the pirate ride, maturity, wisdom and fortitude, that's some principles, social principle, family, public speaking, temperance, life will not go well, the horror show, that which must be borne, the feast of offal, distraction, agency and the great indifference, the best seat in the house, the restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion, the season of philosophy, the bullseye aim, script writing, the bullseye aim, the uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, and the principle of fun, followed by, lastly, being ready. Oh, I was going to start a new endeavor, which was to give each day a name. Maybe I'll do that today. I'll call this day 1. Day 1. Seems appropriate. Today's a significant day. It's the beginning of a countdown. Exactly 1 year from today, I retire. Today's day 1. I'm very nervous and anxious about this process. I'm scared. And I was thinking about naming the days, and in order to give some weight, gravity to the remaining days of my life. That's an interesting idea, just to number them. From now all the way forward, I wonder how far I'll make it from day 1. Reminds me of my ocean swim. That's right. I first started doing that. Day whatever ocean swim. Just day 1. I think I'll start with that. Today will be day 1. I have liberty. I can do whatever the hell I want with regard to the naming. I can change it later if I want, but I can start off with day 1. So today will be day 1. I have to figure out how to fold that into the naming. Am I ready to die? Are my affairs in order? Yeah. Are my relationships sound? Yes. Is my life's work complete? Yes. I can die without a single backwards glance. And with that, I'll wrap up. Wish you all the best. Be safe. but not too safe. See you on day 2. I will move forward and up. I will rarely stop, and I will never